Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a very long time since my last video. I don't even know when the last time I filmed and uploaded a video was, but I know it was a while. A lot has happened and changed. If you follow me on Instagram, you're probably well aware of that, so I'm not going to get too much into it. I also have a whole video planned talking more about my life update. I'm just going to give you a short version in case you've missed something, and then I'll get into the video. I'll leave a timestamp down below if you don't want to watch this little update, but I'm going to try and keep it really short. I moved. I moved from Ontario, Canada to New Brunswick, Canada. It was a 17-hour drive, and pretty much anything that could go wrong with the move went wrong. It was not the easiest transition, but we are here and we are getting settled, and after our belongings were very, very delayed, we finally got them and we have been working on getting unpacked and set up. So that's why I've been so silent lately. Lots of chaos happening. If you've moved, I'm sure you know, it's crazy. Anyways, I am currently filming in what is going to be my new library slash office, where I do some of my planning and obviously store all my books. I'm sorry if it is echoey in here. I tried my best to make that not happen, but there's not much I can do with how empty it is. I'm actually sitting on the ground right now. I have my camera propped up on boxes of books because I haven't unpacked my tripod yet, and it's a mess. Honestly, my life is just a mess right now, so we're just gonna go with it. The reason that I am filming this video is because yesterday I went to the bookstore and bought a whole bunch of books. I haven't been in a bookstore physically since it's been about like 16 months or something, just because of COVID, but then also the town that I used to live in before I moved didn't have a bookstore, so I wasn't able to ever really go to one until yesterday. I took a trip into St. John and went to Indigo and bought a whole bunch of books. I ended up with 10 new books, which I'm very excited about all of them, so I thought I would sit down and do a quick haul and show you what I got. I'm not going to go too in depth about them, but I just thought I would sit down, kind of get back into filming and show you what I bought. So if you're interested in seeing my book haul from my first trip back to a bookstore, just keep watching. Okay, let's get started. Like I mentioned, I bought 10 books. I did go a little crazy, but a lot of these books that I bought were books that I've been kind of waiting to purchase. I haven't purchased any books in a really long time. The reason behind most of that was just moving chaos. I wasn't sure which address or how long the books would take to get there, so I wasn't sure which one to ship it to. So anyways, needless to say, I was very, very excited to be able to go back to the bookstore and pick up some of the books that have been on my wish list for the last couple of months. I'm really excited to share them with you. Like I mentioned, I'm not going to go too in depth about the books. You can go look at them if you are interested. I just kind of wanted to sit down and hang out with you guys because it's been so long since I've done this. So let's get into it. This is going to be in no particular order. First, we're gonna start off with the Maidens. This is a new mystery book that has just come out. I recently read The Silent Patient by the same author, and I really, really enjoyed it. I did not see the twist at the end coming at all. It was my first like mystery slash thriller book that I've ever read, and I was really pleasantly surprised. So when I heard that a new book was coming out by the same author, I definitely knew I wanted to pick it up. So I'm very excited to get into this one. I'm also really excited to keep diving into the mystery slash thriller genre. I'm currently reading one right now and really enjoying it. I definitely really like it. One thing I have noticed over the last couple of years is that my taste in books have kind of changed, which is something I would like to talk more about. So if you're interested in me doing a whole video about how my tastes in books have changed over the last few years, let me know. Anyways, getting back to this, I haven't really heard much about this book at all, but I am excited that I haven't heard much about it because I like to go into these types of books with no expectations. The next book I picked up is a YA fantasy. It is called Blade of Secrets. This is a newer book. It came out earlier this year. It's by Trisha Levenseller. I've read, I think, everything that Trisha has written and really enjoyed. She always has these short little fantasy books. They're really like captivating and action-packed and very like fast-paced, which I really like. It's not anything long. She does a lot of standalones. She does have one duology, but they're very quick, very easy to get through, and just a lot of fun. So I'm really excited for this one. The next book I picked up is Just Last Night. I think this book is so cute. I love how bright and colorful it is. One thing I noticed about all the books that I bought is just how bright and colorful they are. I love that books are now becoming more vibrant. Before, I felt like it was always like gray and black tones. Maybe that's because I read mostly fantasy, but since my tastes have changed, I have noticed I have a lot more color in my shelves now, which is nice. But this is a contemporary romance. I honestly don't know anything about it. You're gonna find that to be a common thread. I don't really like to read a lot of synopsis going in. I've heard really good things about this author. I actually have another book by this author called Don't You Forget About Me. I think that's what it's called, which is on my TBR for the summer. And I know she has another one out, which I don't have, but I saw this one at the bookstore and I found the cover pretty captivating and just kind of fun. And this summer, I really want to get into more contemporary romances. The cover just says 2 best friends, 1 missed chance, a night that changes everything. I think that sounds like a great book for the summer. The next book, I'm so excited to have. I kind of knew I was gonna get this one. It's one that I have been waiting to get, and that is Heartstopper Volume 3. If you have not read the Heartstopper graphic novels, stop what you're doing, go and pick them up or get them from the library, get your hands on it however you can and read it, because these graphic novels are the cutest and most endearing story ever. It is LGBTQ plus positive. It is very heartwarming and just happy, and I love it. Just do it. You won't regret it. This is volume 3. Volume 4 just came out in like the entire rest of the world, but for some reason in Canada, volume 4 doesn't come out until December. So I can only get my hands on volume 3, but I can't wait to get volume 4 when I can. I'm very excited to read this. I think I'm gonna start it tonight because I just want to jump right back into this. The next book I picked up is another book that was on my wish list, and that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read 3 books by Taylor Jenkins Reid now and loved all of them. They're very good. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I read Daisy Jones and the Six, and I just recently read One True Loves. I really enjoyed all of them. My favorite by far was Evelyn Hugo. I highly recommend this author. If you're going to do Daisy Jones and the Six, do it on audio. You won't regret it. It's so good. Also, Evelyn Hugo on audio was fantastic. Anyways, I picked up the paperback copy of her newest book, Malibu Rising. And this book takes place in the 80s. Most of her books take place in a different timeline, especially Daisy Jones and Evelyn, and then this one. I don't have much to say about it because she's now one of my go-to authors. I really enjoy her works. I'm so glad I gave this kind of genre a chance because I never would have before. Really, really excited for this one, and I love how summery this book cover is. Time for a coffee break. I can't stop using this mug. It's my Ooh David Schitt's Creek inspired mug. It's got quotes all the way around it. Today's the last day you can get it in my shop, so I'm sorry. Oh, love it. Next up is a book I'm very, very excited about. I've seen it all over Bookstagram. I've heard so many people talk about it and love it, and that is Felix Ever After. So this book follows a main character that is Black and transgender and is looking for love. I believe it is in the YA genre, but I've heard so many good and positive things about this book. I've seen it pretty much everywhere and I haven't been able to get it until now, but it's definitely one I will be picking up soon. Also, this cover is beautiful. So the next book is another contemporary romance, and that is called The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. This cover looks very similar to this cover, right? Not complaining. I'm not opposed to cars and 2 people. Anyways, this one I believe is like a second chance romance. 2 exes have to go on like some kind of road trip together. I think it sounds cute. I'm very excited to sit down on my patio and read this book. With our new house, we just got this like beautiful new deck that looks over the treetops that are around our property, and it's just like the perfect place to read. So I just envision myself up there with a cute book reading. Next up is another Bookstagram favorite, and that is One Last Stop, which is a new book by Casey McQuiston. I don't know if I'm butchering that last name, but she is the author of Red, White, and Royal Blue, another really popular book on Bookstagram or Book Talk or BookTube or all the book people like to talk about it. I really did enjoy Red, White, and Royal Blue, maybe not to the extent of some other people. I enjoyed it, I thought it was cute. This is her newest one. I've heard good and some mixed things about it, but I'm excited to give it a chance and see what it's like. All right, 2 more books. The next one is the 3rd book in a YA trilogy by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and that is Grace and Glory. This is another new release. It came out, I believe, at the end of May, early June, mid-June. This is the 3rd book in the Harbinger series by her. I love anything Jennifer L. Armentrout writes. Like, give it to me. Give it to me all. I want them. I'll read them over and over again. She has this way of like writing these fantasy books that are like so addicting. You can't put them down, and they're just like fun, but they're also very action-packed. Lots of great romance, some steam if you're into that kind of thing. Anyways, this is the 3rd book. This series is technically a YA series. I think it is a spin-off of the series that is the Dark Elements series. The first book being White Hot Kiss, I think. So there's that trilogy, and then this is a spin-off. So you can read them separately. I personally would recommend reading the White Hot Kiss Dark Elements trilogy first. I think that would be a good way of doing it, because some characters in there and the plot that kind of happens in that trilogy is a little bit referenced in this. It does follow different characters in this one, but I would definitely recommend checking those ones out. They're a lot of fun. They're like really good. It has like demons and these like kind of like gargoyle creatures, which is brand new. It's a creature I've never really read about before. So anyways, it's a lot of fun. This series is a lot of fun. This is the 3rd book. I think it's the last book. I'm very excited to get into it and see how this book continues. Like I said, I will read literally anything that she writes. Finally, that brings us to the last book I bought, the 10th book, and that is a Christina Lauren book, because I, again, am a sucker for contemporary romance, and Christina Lauren does it like no one else. It is an author duo. Their newest book is The Soulmate Equation. I am obsessed with this cover. I love it. I love the yellow. I love everything that's happening here. I don't know anything about this book. I know there's something to do with genetics. I know there's something to do with romance. I'm here for it. For the most part, I really enjoy their books. They just have this magical way of writing contemporary romances. Some of them are funny, some of them are serious. If you haven't read Love in Other Words, that one is very emotional. It's one of the only books that's ever made me cry. I really like that one. If you are looking for something more lighthearted, The Unhoneymooners. It's really cute. I'm a big fan of their work. I'm very excited to check out their newest one. So that is it. That is all 10 books that I recently purchased on my trip to Indigo. I'm very excited to get into all of them. I actually have no idea where I'm going to start, because I'm excited for every single one of them. But I'd love to hear what books you have hauled lately. What was the last book you brought, whether it's from the library, bookstore, ebook, audiobook. Let me know the last book that you obtained and if you've read it yet. I'm so excited to be back. I'm not sure I'll have a regular filming schedule just yet. I'm still getting settled, still getting set up, as you can tell by my very empty office. But once I do, I will be back. I will probably have some videos scattered throughout, but I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be able to talk to you guys again. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.